welcome to TASH'S COURT. Your host, Tash. Welcome to my court, basically. Discussing everything basketball related and Kevin Durant, of course. So, this is my first episode. Well, technically it's my second episode, but we're going to be discussing everything that's been happening in the NBA, and a lot of things has been happening in the NBA. It's been crazy scenes from Joel Embiid to Victor to Kevin Durant doing a lot of interviews. I'm here to discuss everything that's been happening this week. Just myself. I have no one else here today to discuss what's happening, but yeah, let's get right into it. So let's start off with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been suffering from a knee injury from since he came into the NBA from like 2014. He's always had injuries. But what's so fascinating about this injury for me is that he's out for the season. And there have been like reports talking about him being like retired after this, which is literally crazy to me. And I want to read like a report that came out like 2 hours ago, just like discussing like Joel Embiid's situation with the team and how it would affect him like going forward. So the 76ers could petition for a medical retirement for Joel Embiid if he's unable to play from a year now. At that point, an independent doctor selected by the NBA could examine Embiid. If agreed, he can no longer play. His remaining contract would be wiped off the books for the Sixers. I mean, Joel Embiid is like, 30 years old? And the fact that thinking of retirement at this age where he has a lot to prove and a lot to gain right now, and for him to be retired like at such a young age and early, I mean, he's still in his prime as well, is crazy. I mean, the only player that I can think of who it wasn't like early retirement, but he did retire from the game was Chris Bosh, when he was diagnosed with like loads of like blood clots in his body. But the only thing I have a lot of questions about is like, why did Joel Embiid play for the Olympics? Why didn't the owners or the coaches of the 76ers kind of like intervene like how the Clippers intervened with Kawhi and said, well, you're not playing? But for some reason, Embiid played in the Olympics, and then he's only played a few games in the regular season, and now he's out, like completely out and not playing till we don't know when. And you know, the Sixers to me they have a lot to prove with Tyrese Maxey, with Paul George joining the team this season. It's just going all wrong for the team, and I feel really sorry for like I do feel sorry for Joel Embiid, but Tyrese Maxey, because he's a young player and he's been kind of like lifting doing everything that he can do to win games for the Sixers without Paul George or Joel Embiid. But we've always had high hopes for the Sixers to be that team to come out of the East and prove that they can beat Boston, they can beat the Bucks, they can beat the Celtics, or the Cavs, but they haven't been that team for the past two years now. And it's really sad that Joel Embiid is like going out like this, and in terms of his like legacy, I don't know what or how it would play out for him. But just talking about like Paul George as well, when he had an interview talking about like he's no longer going to be casting anymore. He's going to be focusing on a championship. And I kind of like laughed to myself, because it's like, well, what championship are you going to be playing for? Because, baby, you are not even in the playoff, the play-ins right now. You are out of the play-ins, and it's a wrap to me. It's a wrap in the season for the Sixers, in my opinion. I mean, they did win a game last night, which is good for them, and they're trying to keep up the momentum. But it's a wrap. I just think it's a wrap for them, and they need to come back and look at how they're going to utilize the team without Joel Embiid, like, playing next season, which I think is I don't. To be fair, there's like no words to even describe, like, because his contract is, he's a franchise player, so he's getting a lot of money, and how would the Sixers pay out Joel Embiid if he does retire? There's a lot of questions, and a lot of questions surrounding his knee injury, his conditioning. There's just a lot of questions, and we'll just see how everything kind of plays out at the end of the season for the Sixers and Joel Embiid and Paul George as well, because I don't think Paul George would stay in Philly. But then it's like, well, where would you go at this point? So yeah, it's kind of like it's not looking good for the Sixers at all. Moving on to Victor. Oh, my boy is out for the season as well. All these injuries are just happening for like a lot of players, and I absolutely hate when this happens. But he's out. I think he's out with thrombosis. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but I think he's out with thrombosis. It's something to do with his veins, but also to do with how tall he is, or how, I don't know, how his body is. And that's kind of like a downer for the Spurs, as well as for Victor as well. He played, he's only 21 years old. He played in the Olympics, and he has a bright future ahead of him. And I really do hope that this injury is not a setback for him, but something powerful for him to just come back next year even stronger. But it's just kind of sad, like, how it's played out for him in terms of him winning Defensive Player of the Year. So he will no longer be Defensive Player of the Year now that he's out for the season. Which is kind of sad, because we all thought, thought that he will win Defensive Player of the Year, no question, no doubt about it. But yeah, it's a rocker. It's a bummer for the Spurs, in a sense of Victor's not out there, as well as Pop, the coach. He suffered a stroke a few months ago, and he will no longer be the coach of the Spurs anymore, which is like kind of crazy, because he has been the coach for the Spurs for how many years? I mean, I've been watching basketball, and to see him not being a head coach is sickening. It's crazy, but obviously health is wealth, and I'm glad that he's back, he's healthy. But he has to focus on himself, so I'm very happy that he's healthy and back to where he needs to be. But it's just really bad for the Spurs in terms of where they're at right now in the season. I'm thinking that they are in the play-in. I'm not quite sure where they are in the standing, but with Chris Paul being an addition to the team, I kind of thought that what's his name, Fox, yeah, him, with them trading him to the Spurs, I thought things will, I think they're trying to gel and understand like what's gonna happen, because obviously Victor's no longer there, and Fox just only arrived on the team, so it's just they are doing a lot of adjustments, and I get that, but I still do have high hopes for this team in the future. Yeah, I really do, and really high hopes for Victor as well. I see him being a really good player. Obviously people don't want him to be the face of the league, which is what people have been discussing, you know, this week for a couple of months anyways. But he's only 21. He's only 21, and really watch this space for Victor, because I think he's gonna be dominating the league very soon. So yeah. Speaking of like who's out, Bobby Portis out for 25 games. 25 games, which is criminal. He's out because he took an illegal substance, which is tramadol, which is a medication for inflammation in the body. I think he got his wires mixed up and he didn't know which was which, so he took tramadol and they tested him and it was like, oop, you're out. So he's out for 25 games, which is crazy. 25 games I think is absolutely ridiculous for a drug test, but hey ho, that is the NBA policy. I get it, do what you need to do, but I have seen videos of him like working out with the team and being around the team, so that's really good. But the Bucks have been playing outstanding basketball for the past probably 3 games. They're probably on a 3rd winning streak right now. Really good good basketball. Giannis obviously dominating and doing what he needs to do. Dame doing what he needs to do. Kevin Porter Jr., he's really stepped up, coming off the bench. Like the Bucks, they're there, but I still don't see them coming out of the East winning over the Cavs or Boston Celtics, period. Ain't gonna happen. But I do like the momentum of the team and how well they are playing. They just need a few more, a few more bits to add to the team to make it a bit more powerful and stronger to beat the Cavs or Boston. But yeah, good looking out the box. Good looking out. Speaking of the Cavs and Celtics, so they played Friday night. So I basically stayed up to watch this game. I was like, oh, I'm going to stay up, watch this game, And then I seen 25-3, Boston up. I was like, okay, this is going to be a wrap. Plus, they were playing at home. Boston was playing at home. And I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Boston is... Yeah, they were literally shooting, buckets, swish, cash, literally. Like it was threes in the first quarter, literally threes everywhere. And then I was like, you know what, I'm turning this off because no point watching the game. Yeah. Anyways, woke up and I'm like, what? The Cavs came back from a 22-point deficit. Crazy. But you know what? I've always loved the Cavs. I love Donovan Mitchell. I think he is an underappreciated player. I think a lot of people in the league do not appreciate Donovan Mitchell and what he brings to the Cavs. And I'm glad he actually stayed in the Cavs and re-signed with them. He is a true leader, a born baller. Like, he is a killer, and he is Spider for real. Like, for real. He is Spider for real. Like, the way how he came out in the fourth quarter and just bye-bye. But did anyone see the video of Tatum just like kissing and saying bye bye, get out here? And then the fourth quarter, Donovan Mitchell doing the same exact thing. Like, I have always said, don't ever sleep on the Cavs. A lot of people have Boston Celtics winning and coming out of the East, and that's fine. We have seen this time and time again. We've seen it last year, and we're probably going to see it this year, which I don't want it to be the same as last year. But I feel like the Cavs can do this. The Cavs can beat Boston Celtics. They have done it before, and obviously regular season is different from playoffs, and I get that, but Spider always shows up and shows out, and everyone else in that team, from Garland to Mowgli to Jarrett Allen, like the whole team gels. Kenny Atkinson has been doing a beautiful job with the team. Like, they can win. They can win. And I know, like I said, I know a lot of people don't want them to win, but I do. I really do, because I do not want Boston Celtics to win another chip this year. I will be sick. I seriously will be sick. So, yeah. But, you know what, MVP? Donovan Mitchell. I know he's in the MVP race. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. And I think he's like number 5 somewhere. Donovan Mitchell will win MVP. And he better win. I know, like, they probably will give it to Shai, like, okay, but Donovan Mitchell should get MVP this year. I don't care. Right, so let's talk about the good old Suns. The good old Phoenix Suns. Well. Well. What is going on with the Phoenix Suns? Like, I think this week, a report came out and said that the coach told Booker to basically shut up and dribble. In my eyes, that's basically what he said. Shut up and dribble. So Devin Booker has been very vocal in the team, like timeouts, communicating, like what we all do in our jobs. We communicate with our workers, our colleagues, our whoever, like. So he's been told to tone it down. And to me, that sounds very crazy. Like, my boss or coach telling me to tone it down where we're losing, we need to build up this momentum and team effort to win the game, and you're telling me to tone it down. Now, the coach basically said that he wants him to tone it down so that the team can hear the coach's voice. Make it make sense. Make it make sense for me, people. Like, I just feel there's just bad vibes on this team, and it's nothing to do with the players. It's nothing to do with KD. It's nothing to do with Devin Booker. It's nothing to do with Bradley Beal. I think it's all the front office. I mean, they tried to scheme. They tried to scheme and get KD off because obviously they can't move Bradley Beal. So they tried to send off Kevin Durant to, I don't know, the Warriors. That didn't happen. But I'm telling you now, KD will be traded this summer. He will be out of there. I'm sure he already has his bags packed. He's out. And he ain't coming back. There's no point for KD to stay on a team where, obviously, like, KD is their biggest asset. They can't move Bradley Beal. I think they don't want to move Devin Booker. Like, I wouldn't want to move my star boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, Devin Booker is the star boy of the Phoenix Suns. Wherever Kevin Durant goes, he only can sign 2-year contracts. So, best bit, let's ship off KD. And they will ship off KD come the summer. And I'm happy for that because it's not working out. It's not working out. It's not gelling. Like, they all look sad and depressed. The body language is looking crazy. I mean, they did win last night. Was it last night? They did win last night, but it's just it's just not looking good. It's not looking good for them. I don't even think they'll even reach the play-ins. And I think this will be KD's first time, probably. Yeah, probably not. In his career, at this stage of his career, not being in the playoffs, which is crazy. But KD has been KD has been doing his farewell tour. He has. I've never ever seen KD do so many interviews during the regular season, especially at this time. He has been like being interviewed and obviously being vocal about, the team wanting to trade him, and saying that it's the business. And the one thing I absolutely like about KD, he is so professional. But I know deep down he's pissed. He's pissed, but he understands the business. He understands the game. He obviously understands that the contract that he's in, and he understands, like, he is their biggest asset. So yeah, KD is out of there this summer. Now, the teams that I think KD probably will go to, I mean, you can X out the Warriors, because that is not happening. I was more thinking Houston Rockets. I was thinking the Spurs. I was also thinking going back to Brooklyn. And then someone obviously put this idea in my head, which I absolutely felt sick to my stomach. Boston Celtics. Sick. Like, why would you... No. Please. KD. No. Don't ever go to Boston Celtics. No. Don't ever do it. Please. No. But yeah, KD's out of there. And I'm looking forward to see where he goes to this time round. But I don't know, how many seasons do we think KD has left in him? Like, he's gonna be 37 this year. Do we think that he will play to 40 like LeBron? I don't know. I don't know. But I would like for him to play when he's 40 years old. That'd be so good. But yeah, I definitely need to see him again when I go to America. But yeah, KD, man, like, what's up, KD? Right, let's look at the standings of the league. Let's look at the East. The East. So the Cavs are at 49 games, 10 losses. Boston, Knicks, Bucks, Indiana Pacers, and the 6th seed is Detroit Pistons. 7th, we've got Miami Heat. 8th, we've got Orlando. 9th, we've got Atlanta Hawks. And 10th, we've got Chicago Bulls. Now, another loss for Orlando. Jalen Suggs, he's out for the season, which is crazy. Yeah, all these injuries are just... Yeah, I hate them. The 11th seed is Philly, 12th Brooklyn, 13 Toronto, 14 Charlotte, and then obviously Washington Wizards being at 15. Yo, it's a wrap. Oh, going back, I seen an interview with Carmelo Anthony, and he was saying that KD needs to move to, needs to be traded to the Washington Wizards. Is he tweaking? Like, why would... Yes, we know that KD is from DC, but why would you go to a bum team? Like, it makes no sense. But yeah, he was tweaking with that one. The West is looking quite stiff. Well, not stiff. It's looking quite tight. Like, OKC, Denver, Lakers, Grizzlies, Rockets, and then the 6th seed, which is the Clippers. 7th seed is Golden State. 8 is SAC. 9 is Timberwolves, and 10th is Dallas. 11th, Phoenix Suns, Portland, Spurs, New Orleans, and Utah. So with the Phoenix Suns being at the 11th seed, they're not eligible to be in the playoffs, the play-ins. So it's Golden State, SAC, Mini, and Dallas all in the list of being in the play-ins. And they are about 3 games behind Dallas is the Phoenix Suns. So I don't know. I don't know if the Phoenix Suns can actually, get themselves in the play-ins. I mean, everybody is like neck and neck in the West. It's like, yeah, everybody's neck and neck. But speaking of the Lakers, I think the Lakers will dominate the West. I think they will beat OKC. I'm saying this now. They will beat OKC. I think the matchup would be Denver and the Lakers. See, the thing is like, with OKC, like, they are a young team. They're not that experienced when it comes to the playoffs. You cannot sleep on Denver. Period. Ever in your life. Don't ever sleep on Denver. Like, they've been there, done that. So that's why I've got the Lakers and Denver playing in the finals in the West. Now, I didn't do the East, so let's go back to the East. I probably have Boston Celtics and the Cavs playing in the finals in the East. That's gonna be a tough matchup, a tough and sick matchup. But I want them to play in the finals of the East, or is it the Eastern Conference Finals? That'd be so sick. I don't think the Knicks have it in. See, the Knicks, Milwaukee, Pacers, and Detroit. Like, Detroit been balling, recently, but no one can beat Cavs and Boston. I'm sorry. Those are the 2 teams that I feel will come out on top in the East. But for the West, for me, it's a fair, like, I can just see Denver and the Lakers. I don't see it for OKC. Like, it was the same last year, I think. Did they play in the finals? No, they didn't. Who did they play in the finals against? I can't remember. Anyways, but yeah, I feel like the Lakers and Denver will be in the Western Conference Finals this year. But yeah, we've only got like 23 games left in the season. Like, we have a few games on tonight, which is going to be good. We've got the Nuggets and Boston playing tonight. A few good games. But yeah, we've got 23 games left in the season, and I feel like it's going to be, like, the NBA is getting interesting now. You know how, like, the start of the season, it was a bit boring. The viewership was going down. But, like, now, like, come... What month are we in? We're in March. Come April. Straight fire. Pure fire. But yes. Let me wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in to my 2nd episode of TASH'S COURT. I got that right. TASH'S COURT. Support your girl, like, follow, subscribe, and also like on socials, please like tap in, leave some comments, and then I'll respond back. Like, I love a good conversation. I love a good conversation about basketball. But yeah, we'll have more guests on this season. I don't know. I want to invite some like people on the Twitters, on the socials that I know, but obviously the boys will definitely come back on and discuss basketball with me. But yeah, signing out.